All right, what is up, y'all? We got a SN95 Mustang 5-liter. We're gonna do the tensioner pulley replacement today. So this is a non-OEM. This is a Duralast tensioner pulley that we're gonna be replacing it with. This is the part number for y'all, if y'all are worried. 305296. This is a Duralast from Autozone because I was too in a rush to order it online. Also, I don't care enough to get an OEM. The bolt is going to be a Torx T50. I went out and got a T55 after looking some stuff up, and it was the wrong size. It was too big, so went in and grabbed one. Also, because of this bracket here, a traditional ratchet will not clear. I don't know if you all got a thinner one than this, but I had to go get the Serpentine belt tensioner kit from AutoZone as well, just because I knew it would clear. Only really got to worry about breaking it loose, but then you can just kind of hand unscrew it from there. All right, now that we're back, got it out. Trying to make mistakes so you guys don't have to. Hopefully you didn't pause before then, but you can only really hand loosen it with the bit so long until it starts getting caught. So just kind of make sure you're wary of that. Also, when it comes to taking it out, there isn't a whole lot of space to wiggle it out, so I just kind of pulled it to the left and dropped it down that side. Next real task is just kind of put in the bolt in the new one and then trying to push it up from underneath and getting it where we need it to be. There will be this little nipple right here, so that's kind of what the force that you're tightening it against so that it's got that tension. All right, I'm a little out of breath because I ran to AutoZone like maybe 5 times before I did this, but all right, we'll get it up there and then I'll show you what to do next. Now that I'm doing this, I'm kind of realizing as one person it's a little tough to go from the bottom, so if you manage to get it past the intake, you're kind of able to push it a little through and underneath to here, and then that's how you'll get it. Now, since I am holding my phone, kind of pause until I'm situated. All right, we are about situated now. You just kind of want to get that nipple lined up on the inside and then get that bolt kind of set. I'm just hand tightening it until I can fit the Torx, and then I'll be tightening it down. Now, somewhere there is a torque rating that somebody really cares about, and that person is not me, so I will just be kind of tightening this to however much I feel like it and then calling it a day, you know. That's not really information that I am too enlightened on, so if you care about it, go ahead and look it up. Since this is not even my car and I'm just kind of focused on making sure that it's safe enough to drive and that it's tight enough, I don't think I'll be able to strip the bolt, but enough yap, let's get it in. And no, I'm no genius, but there is definitely a difference between over tightening and straight up being stupid. Considering the amount of leverage that you get with something like this, you just got to be careful and just tighten it till about where it feels right. Where we're at, we're stiff. Sorry it's not focusing, but you know, we're stiff. We're stiff and we're spinning. It's nice and tight. I did about 2 heavy tightens because that's about what it took to get it broken out of the tightness it was at. And then last thing to really do is get it situated. And luckily for me, since I initially loosened the belt tensioner with my ratchet, I'm gonna have an easier time with this specified tool. And then before I put this tensioner back on, at least with the configuration that I have, as far as I've been made aware, that is some sort of smog control. For some reason, my belt does not go over that. That could also be a reason that it's somehow getting loose. But the configuration is pretty much over the alternator, under this tension pulley, onto the power steering, and then underneath to the AC compressor. Then, as you come up, over the water pump, back and around to, I would love to tell you what this is, down here, and then all the way up, and then where we're going to be placing our tension is right underneath our alternator. So our belt should be going right on top of the tensioner pulley right here, underneath our alternator. As I was putting this in, I kind of thought it was the top, but it's not. Alrighty, and we are back in. Tensioner pulley is all set up. Now, word of caution, now me being the super genius that I am, I managed to strip the outside of the 3/8 hole that they have on the first try. Now, it is not useless now, but I am assuming, considering its cheap nature and not being an OEM replacement, I would 150% recommend getting an OEM replacement given the opportunity. Most of the time I would advocate for AutoZone Duralast parts, but this one, 100%, if you can and have the time to get an OEM part, or maybe even a better aftermarket one if such a thing exists, I would 100% suggest doing that. Can't really, like, visually and audibly, there isn't much wrong with this one, but I'm really hoping that it gets rid of the squealing noise. So I'll get it started up and check out if that noise still exists. So we're in the car, about to start this John up. Next thing that we will be checking is the odometer, because those springs are dead. Chris Fix got a great video, but if you'd like to see something from my perspective, I'd be more than willing to get that done and recorded for y'all. And we're gonna start it up. Now, there was a slight squeak at the beginning, although one of the things that I've been looking for is this voltage meter, because usually, depending on how it idles, this will usually drop and then go back up. Now, the fact that it's being relatively consistent at the moment is pretty nice, although unfortunately most of these gauges aren't working. Somehow this one managed to get behind the nipple, but you know, what can you expect? It's a Ford. I've never been the biggest Ford guy, but don't take that too personally. I've had a couple of Fords before. I love working on them. It's just there are a lot of niche issues that exist with them. Now, taking a look at this, there isn't a whole lot to unpack here. I mean, it is a 30-year-old car. We're gonna give it a couple revs, kind of check out whether or not that noise still exists.